In this tutorial, we'll take a look at the rewards points capabilities of Infigo. This functionality allows you to apply points to a customer's account for various actions, such as registration and for purchases. These points can then be applied to future purchases at an exchange rate of your choosing. We'll start by navigating to the rewards points section. And the first thing we're going to do is to click enabled. So reward points are disabled by default unless this checkbox is ticked, and this will activate the use of reward points across this storefront. I'm just going to click save. Now, there's a few other settings we want to work with. So one of them is the entering of an exchange rate. This is where you specify how much reward points are worth in monetary value. By default, you get £1 or one of your default currency in the storefront equals 1 reward point. You can change that as you see fit. If required, you can also specify how many reward points customers receive upon registering for the site. So by default, it will say 10 points for registration, but you can change that to whatever you like. We can also specify how many reward points customers receive per set amount of spend. So that's in this box here, so points for purchases. And what we're saying is that, well, by default, for each £10 that's spent, you will earn 1 reward point. But again, you can change that as you see fit. Then the last two settings here are to specify at which point of the ordering and fulfillment process the reward points are applied to the customer account. So awarded order status by default is when the order is completed, but you can do other options here as well. And then we have a cancelled status as well. So when the points will be removed if the order is cancelled. We'll click on save to confirm those options. Next, we'll take a look at how to manually change the number of reward points that a customer has. We'll start off by navigating to our customer management screen. And then click on edit next to one of our customer entries. Now, with the reward points active, we now have a reward points tab associated with the customer. Click on that to see the amount of points that they have available. Now, you can see I've previously done something on reward points with this particular customer. So you can see that we've got a tracked record of the current balance of reward points, as well as the history of their reward points. So we've added a manual 10 points for late sign-up bonus, and then they've removed 10 points because they've actually utilized that in one of their orders. So it will keep track of the points used by that particular customer. Now we can also manually add or modify reward points. You can specify the amount of points to award. So if I say 10 points, for example, and you can specify whether this is an amendment to the existing number of points, or you can say it's an absolute adjustment if you want to just create this many points on that entire customer account. You can also optionally put a message in here to explain why these points were awarded. Click on add reward points and you'll see those are now added to that particular customer. If I just go ahead and save that and go back to my reward points tab, we can see that our entire balance has been updated as well. That just needed a refresh. So next, let's take a look at how our customers interact with and utilize their reward points on the front end experience. So with items in the basket, we're going to proceed through the checkout. On the payment methods screen, your customers will have the option to utilize their accrued reward points with this little checkbox here. This is saying that we have 10 reward points, which is worth £10 available for use. The use of reward points is detailed in the order summary page prior to the order that's being placed. And if I go back to the sales area inside admin, we can also see that the use of reward points is noted within this sales admin area.